Hi, I'm Chef Joseph Farner, and welcome to Chefy Nom Noms, channel where I teach you method over recipe, with a little help from my friend, Kevin the Bacon. We're going to take you on a culinary adventure that's going to keep your taste buds dancing, and your guests coming back for more. Hi, welcome back to the channel. Kevin and I have a very exciting episode for you guys today. My personal favorite chicken marsala. My chicken marsala, I like to do it over mashed potatoes.
On papas?
That's right, papas. Delicious. Make some wonderful mashed potatoes, put that chicken breast over top, and smother it in that marsala mushroom sauce. Oh my goodness. It's a bit of a lengthy episode today, so let's get right into it. This time our culinary adventure begins with salted butter, 1 stick, some cremini mushrooms or baby bellas, some shallots, our avocado oil, some heavy cream. I use a heavy whipping cream, ultra pasteurized. Also our better than bouillon to make our chicken stock. Some fresh thyme, of course, because we love our aromatics here at Chefy Nom Noms. Salt, pepper. I use a Taylor marsala, cheap but still delicious. I also have some all-purpose flour and our potatoes. We begin with our potatoes by peeling them down. Just gonna remove the skin and cut them into 6 equal sized chunks, equal-ish. I want them roughly the same size. Then we're gonna cover them in water and boil them. Now that 1 stick of butter, we're going to take half of it, cut it into 4 equal pieces, and take the other half, and that will begin our cream for our mashed potatoes. Half a stick of butter, enough heavy cream to coat just the bottom of the pan. I'd say probably about a 1/4 cup for the 2 potatoes that I'm using. And then I use a pre-minced garlic. This tends to be a little less garlic forward and gives it a very nice undertone of garlic. Now for our shallots, we treat them just like a regular onion. You cut the tip off, cut it in half, peel it, and then I will take the knife, and I cut several times in here, 5 to be exact. And this just makes it so that when you cut it, you're mincing it, because you want very small pieces. So I slice it down that way, and about 3/4 of the way I slice it through, and then one last time for the perfect mince. It is important that these are not too big. You don't want a big chunk of shallot in your mouth. You want them to kind of disappear into the sauce and just add that wonderful flavor. So once they're all minced up, you're going to set those aside, and we'll start to do our mushrooms. For our mushrooms, we just do a simple slice. I think I've showed you this before in a different video. One side off gives it a nice, easy, flat surface to work from. Now for our thyme, we have our fickle thyme. It's same process as usual. Mince that stuff up, call it a day. Good to go. Now we will start to do our chicken here. The chicken breasts that we have are massive. Chichis muy grande? Sí, muy grande. You can see how big they are compared to my hand. And also, you'll notice it has a lot of cartilage, this little tube that runs here that I'm grabbing. I like to get rid of that. I don't like the texture that it has at all. I also remove any of the fat, chicken fat, from around the outside edges and just kind of give it a clean up. One more time, we're gonna give it a little spanking. Now God does. Yes. And I take the knife and I hold the knife perpendicular to the cutting board. You will also see that I'm using a separate knife and a separate cutting board for this process. I always use a separate knife and a separate cutting board when I'm using any sort of raw item at all. meats specifically. So because this chicken breast was so massive, I cut that one into 3 and the other one into 2. Now I will take a Ziploc bag. I roll back the edges as shown just to make sure I don't get any chicken in that channel. And then I will roll that forward, seal it, and I will take a mallet and I will pound these out. I use the dimple side of the mallet and I don't hit it very hard. Essentially, we're trying to give them a nice even thickness. Now we will add our seasoned flour. So this is just all-purpose flour, some salt, some pepper, and a little bit of smoked paprika over the top. I will then mix this all up nice together and start to dust our chicken breast. Before we dust our chicken breast, we give them 1 seasoning of salt on one side. Not too heavy, but it's important to make sure that you season throughout. Every aspect of your dish should be seasoned. It helps bring all the flavors together. So once we get a nice coat on here, you're making sure that there's no areas where the chicken is still wet, and then you will just dust them dry. Now our potatoes have been on high, boiling in the background, and you can see that they split with a fork real nice. We're going to steam those out by draining the water, and then I like to do a quick little mash on them first, then add my salt and pepper, do a little dance, and then also pour in that butter, garlic, and heavy cream that we put on the stove on low earlier. Now I will whisk very aggressively to give our mashed potatoes that wonderful, light, airy texture. You don't want too much heavy cream. It's important that these are not real thin because they just perform much better in this dish if they have a little bit of volume. This is perfect. Now, side note, I did make this chicken better than bouillon chicken stock. It's just about a spoonful and a half of Pyrex. This is what I like to use. You can use regular chicken stock or whatever you have available, but better than bouillon performs great. Now, for our chicken, we're going to start with our avocado oil, and then I will put 2 of the 4 pads of butter in. You can see the temperature of the pan is not hot yet. It's warm, it's starting to melt the butter, but it is not hot. This is important. You do not want to brown your butter during this process. Once the butter starts to melt and is about 3/4 of the way melted, then you will add your chicken. And then don't touch it. Once it starts to form this brown area here and you'll see the white around the edges of the chicken, that's when you know it's time to flip. Each side is about 2.5 to 3 minutes, depending on how thick your chicken is. And you can see here, what I'll do is I'll just push down in the thickest part of the chicken and give it a little test. As long as you see white all the way through and unbelievably juicy, you're good to go. Now immediately after we're done, while the pan is still hot, we will throw our last 2 pads of butter in. You'll see these will start to brown almost immediately. This is good. You don't want them to brown completely out. You just want that brown to begin to form around the edge. Then you will add your shallots and your mushrooms and let them get to know each other for a little while. We're just gonna kind of toss them around in that butter, and then we'll add our aromatics, our fresh minced thyme, over the top. Once this has sauteed down and our aromatics have permeated those mushrooms, we will then begin to deglaze with our chicken stock. I pour enough to cover the mushrooms, just so. And then I will add our Marsala wine. I start with 1/2 cup here, and we'll add 1/4 cup later, just to bolster that flavor. And then we just kind of move it around just a little bit, and then don't touch it. Let it reduce. Don't mix it, don't mess with it, don't do anything. Just let it do its thing. When it starts to look like this, You will then add just a little bit of heavy cream over the top and that other quarter cup of marsala that we were talking about. I will now agitate, which is to bring everything together in a nice, harmonious, delicious sauce. I will taste to adjust for seasoning, and then again, let it just do its thing. It's almost there. I can see how thick it is. I will put one more sprinkling of aromatic over the top. This just brings the whole dish together. And as you can see, our sauce is thickened up to be wonderful, perfect, amazing Marsala sauce. Now, assembly is very simple. You take our mashed potatoes. I usually use 2 nice big scoops. Then you're going to take our chicken and you're going to put the chicken on top of the mashed potatoes. Once the chicken is on top, we will then finish it with our wonderful Marsala sauce. And there you have my personal favorite chicken Marsala over mashed potatoes. This is unreal. It is so delicious. And that's how I make my amazing chicken Marsala. Unreal. Try this. You will not regret it. Like, subscribe, and we see you on the next episode of Chefy Num Nums.